Welcome to Newslaundry Chhota Hafta. For the full episode, subscribe because it is behind the paywall and only subscribers get access to uncut, complete content. Newslaundry Hafta is our weekly wrap of all that made the news, all that didn't, and all that should have, and all that shouldn't have. We agree, we disagree, we critique, and occasionally we beat each other up. But it's all good fun. Subscribe.
This is a Newslaundry podcast and you're listening to NL Hafta.
अंग्रेज अपना लगान और न्यूज़ लॉन्ड्री अपना हफ्ता कभी नहीं छोड़ते. Welcome to the 431st episode of News Laundry Hafta. We are recording this on the 4th of May, Thursday at 3 in the afternoon. I am going to be coming to London and we'll be having a subscriber meet. We have got about 60 confirmations so far. I will give you a little more details about the subscriber meet later on in this episode. Hope to see you there. Hope you're contributing to our Press Freedom Fund. I will tell you a little more about that as well. But first, we will talk about what's happened in the country through the headlines. After I have introduced our guests for the week. In the studio with me is Raman Kirpal.
Hi.
And that's it. There's no one else in the studio because Manisha is traveling. And Anand is in Patna, but he is joining us on the phone line. Hi, Anand.
Hello.
Hope to see you in town next week.
Yes.
Joining us on the phone line from Bangalore is Dhanya Rajendran. Hi, Dhanya.
Dhanya Rajendran.
What did I say?
Dhanya.
Dhanya Rajendran.
You said Dhanya.
Dhanya. So what is Dhanya? What's the difference?
Just now you said it correctly.
Dhanya, right? Dhanya.
Yes.
Dhanya, not Dhanya. Dhanya. That's what you're saying basically. I'm taking the R too long. Correct?
Yes. North India.
We will talk about it later because every hafta you pronounce my name differently.
Okay. I have the same problem with Pinray Vijayan. Every week I'm corrected
Okay, this is worse. That's way worse
It
than
happens
how you
now.
said
Like in North India, my name they call me Raman. When I go to South, they call me Raman.
Right.
So
Dhanya is a journalist. I'm sure everybody who's listening knows who she is. She's the co-founder and editor-in-chief of the News Minute. She's worked at Times Now, New Indian Express and other mediocre organizations before she founded News Minute, which is a top quality organization. She has been named the 2022 recipient of the Chameli Devi Jain Award for Outstanding Women Media Persons. Congrats, Dhanya.
Thank you.
Amazing achievement. Very proud of your work. And we are very proud. News Laundry just announced that we will be to our mail had gone to our subscribers, and I'm hoping News Minute also announced that to their subscribers that we have just entered into a collaboration arrangement where we shall be doing a variety of things together, whether it is shows, investigations, podcasts. You will see as this whole plan unveils. But you have already done the first 2-3 episodes of the joint productions of News Minute and News Laundry, right? In Bangalore with Manisha and Atul.
Yes, we have done.
So where did you guys travel to?
My colleague Pooja actually traveled with Manisha to Srirangapatnam, Mysore and all that. Yeah.
Right. Okay, chalo. So we'll get a lot more about that. Also joining us is Rahul Verma. Hi, Rahul.
Hi, Abhinandan. Hi, everyone.
hi.
And where are you right now?
I'm in Delhi.
You are in Delhi. Okay. So Rahul is a fellow at the Centre for Policy Research. He is a visiting professor in the Department of Political Science at Ashoka University. His research interests include voting behaviour, party politics, political violence and media. He's a regular columnist for various news platforms. He's been published in the Asian Survey, Economic and Political Weekly, and Studies, and in Indian Politics. That's the name of another platform. The last one I'm not too familiar with. Studies in Indian Politics, is that right?
It's a journal.
It's a journal, I see. So thank you for joining us, Rahul.
Thank you.
Before we proceed any further, I have an important announcement. We have just launched a Press Freedom Fund. Now, why is Press Freedom important? I'm sure you all know. If you look throughout history, when media and news media dies, so do various other aspects of a democratic country. That's what's important. We have launched this fund because we want to do a series of stories which speak about the media, whether they are investigations into ownership patterns. We hope we'll be able to commission a couple of international journalists to write a few columns as well, and other such media related stories, hopefully some data analysis as well. How healthy is the media ecosystem? What are the pressures on news organizations, etc., etc., etc. So to launch the Press Freedom Fund, which we did on Press Freedom Day, which was the 3rd of May, there's an NL Sena project up. So please go and contribute. Let's top it up by the 31st of May. So in the month of Press Freedom Day, we would like you to top it up. Do contribute because it's important. And we have a special offer for subscribers based in London or close by. Like, I'm traveling to London for a conference. So while I'm there, which is going to be the 10th, 11th and 12th, or 11th, 12th, 13th, we will be having a subscribers meet. It will be at the same place that it was held last year. We will send you the details. So if you are a subscriber and you would like to attend this, it's actually priced, this conference is priced at £300. In the show notes, you can click on the link. It's called the Ideas for India Conference. But if you're a Newslaundry subscriber and you're one of the first 5 to contribute 11,000 rupees or more to the Press Freedom Fund, you can attend the conference for free. We will send you a free ticket, which actually costs £300. Alternatively, if you're one of the first 20 subscribers to contribute 2,500 rupees or above, you'll be able to access the conference at a discounted price of £100. The £100 price is actually for members of Bridge India, which is the think tank that organizes this conference. So I repeat, if you're one of the first 5 Newslaundry subscribers who contributes 11,000 rupees or more to the Press Freedom Fund, you can attend this conference for free. And if you're one of the first 20 who contributes 2,500 or more, you can access the conference pass for a discount of £100. Now, why would you want to attend the conference? Certainly not to meet me, because you'll meet me anyway in the subscriber meet. We have, Bridge India has speakers like Raghuram Rajan, Priyanka Chaturvedi, KTR, the Minister for Municipal Administration and Urban Development in Telangana. They have about a dozen almost 20 speakers from India across politics, journalism, investors, etc. And a whole bunch of speakers from UK and Europe, including a few politicians from the House of Lords Commons, jo bhi kehte hain, from London. So you will enjoy this conference, you will learn a lot and you will meet interesting people. I was there last year as well. Once you've made your contribution to the Press Freedom Fund, write to us at subscription@newslaundry.com. I repeat, subscription@newslaundry.com, and our team will do the rest to make sure you get the ticket and access to the conference. So meanwhile, I will see you on the 13th of May, which is a Saturday in London. We have about 60 to 70 people who have confirmed. If you are more, please write to us at subscription@newslaundry.com. I repeat, subscription@newslaundry.com. We don't want to happen in London what happened in Michigan, where the amount who confirmed was, 70% of the amount who landed up. And in these foreign countries, they're very strict about how many people they allow in a place that is for X amount. Unlike Pandara Road Market, where say, uncle, adjust kar lo, 15-20 aur aa gaye, they don't let you sit there. So do write to us at subscription@newslaundry.com, so we ensure that the place we book can accommodate everybody who comes. Let's get into the headlines and then we shall get into the conversation. India's ranking in the World Press Freedom Index fell from 150 in 2022 to 161 this year out of 180 countries. The media watchdog Reporters Without Borders releases this every year, and on Tuesday they announced. We shall probably, hopefully, get some sort of analysis, insight or opinion from this from Rahul, who also kind of specializes in this space of research and would have a more informed opinion than, let's say, mine. Then Karnataka election, NRC versus Bajrang Dal ban. So the BJP promised to implement a uniform civil code and a national registry for citizens in its manifesto, and the Congress promised to ban Bajrang Dal and Popular Front of India. So this is the competition that's happening. I was just speaking to someone earlier today at a conference, and he said the BJP manifesto announcement was delayed by first 10 minutes and half an hour, 1 hour. And the journalists who were there just saw Yedurappa sitting in a corner, looking a little annoyed because neither was Nadda showed up, no one showed up. So I don't know what that says. Maybe Dhanya can give us a little insight about that. Then the Election Commission on Tuesday took note of the quote-unquote plummeting level of political discourse, campaign discourse for the Karnataka Assembly election, and asked political parties to focus on issue-based debates. So we are very glad Election Commission takes note of these important things while often ignoring way more serious matters that come up and not having any view on those. I think Election Commission is a bit like Margdarshak Mandal. Then veteran politician Sharad Pawar on Tuesday stepped down as the president of the Nationalist Congress Party. He held the post since the party was formed in 1999. And in a late-night scuffle in Delhi, wrestlers protesting in Delhi's Jantar Mantar alleged that they were manhandled by drunk policemen. There was a fracas there. We had a reporter there. And in fact, Sakshi Joshi, who is a YouTuber and a journalist, has just put out a video on Twitter that she was roughed up. Her camera was snatched by Delhi police. And she has also, in fact, said that in manhandling her, some of her clothes tore.
Our reporter was there till 2 a.m.
Yeah, so the Delhi police covering itself in glory every week, and then they wonder why they have such little respect for most people. Then during the marriage equality petitions hearing on Wednesday, the centre told the Supreme Court that a panel will be formed to address the concerns of LGBTQIA plus community members, and the Supreme Court has said it's, a welcome step or a positive step, but let's see what comes of it. Then self-regulation by news channels has proved to be ineffective and a regulatory authority is needed for it. This is what the Supreme Court Judge Justice B.V. Nagaratna said on Saturday. Now, while I agree with her, I am not sure her prescription is any better than the problem, and we can discuss that a little bit today.
Yeah, how the government regulated.
Yeah, because because even government regulations failed, right? It's not like their regulation has worked.
Yes. Their fact check machine has come up with many.
No, not just that. Within the INB ministry, they are supposed to act against hate speech, etc.
Yeah.
The Sudarshan, they are not acting.
Yeah.
So what makes us think that their
very
regulations? Then the Supreme Court on Friday ordered all states and union territories to register cases against instances of hate speech, even if no complaint is filed. I would recommend don't hold your breath. Then the Baiju is under the ED scanner. That's the Enforcement Directorate. Baiju, as you know, is I think the world's largest education company. The agency on Saturday carried out searches at 3 premises in Bangalore linked to Baiju. Ravindran, the CEO, and the Baiju has said this is regular, whatever compliance checks or whatever, but it doesn't seem that regular.
Yeah, but then the ED is scanning more or less everyone. So I don't know whether we should take even ED seriously.
That's true. Then what Indian top executives earn in 4 hours of work is equal to what an average worker makes in a year. A study by Oxfam International on Monday showed. In fact, Oxfam every now and then comes up with a report that shows how unequal pay gaps, how pay gaps are increasing, and what the Gini coefficient kehte na, how unequal the distribution of wealth is. And then the Manipur government imposed a curfew in several districts and suspended mobile internet services in the entire state for 5 days on Tuesday. This was after a mass rally organized by the All Tribal Students Union Manipur, which is ATSUM, turned violent. And in fact, Mary Com tweeted yesterday, if I'm not wrong, or just today, early this morning, she has tweeted, quote, "My state, Manipur is burning, kindly help." And she's tagged Narendra Modi, PMO India, Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, Republic, NDTV, India Today, unquote. So I understand that she's distraught, and she's posted 3 photographs of markets and homes, and I don't know if that's a church that's on fire, but I see a cross there. I mean, I guess she should tag Narendra Modi, she should tag PMO, she should tag Rajnath Singh. But I'm not sure why she's tagged Republic, NDTV and India Today. One of them is, I think, more well known for adding to noise rather than reducing it. The other is not sure what it wants to do. And the third is too busy suing us. So I don't know what any of them will do, but I get her sentiment. And finally, a trailer of the upcoming film The Kerala Story sparked outrage this week after the makers claimed that 32,000 women from the state have been converted into Islamic terrorists. And now they've said, no, it's actually on 3 girls. So from 32,000 to 3 is what they've come up with. But I'm guessing they said it could be anyone. Vipul Shah, who has in the past been known to make quite non-controversial films, regular movies, mediocre types.
In the best is, it was telecast in GNU, and nobody was suspended. No student was suspended. Nothing happened.
Yeah, but
just like the BBC.
BBC, yeah, there was suspension happening, and of course also no one was beaten up also. But I think that this new revenue model is that make these C-grade propaganda films like Vivek Agnihotri. It will be promoted by everyone from your home minister to your transport minister. Make a cool 30, 40, 50 crore and chill out and retire.
Yeah.
So, tragic.
What a retirement plan.
Yeah, what a retirement plan.
They employ 2 sets of information to calculate democracy scores. One is very objective indicators, meaning, say, election participation. So what was the turnout? And say on something like press freedom, they would look whether there were journalists who were arrested or there were sanctions on media. So basically, very, very objective indicators. And then also some subjective indicators. So each of these institutes have some experts, meaning it could be political scientists or social scientists in general, or journalists, or people who have been studying this country for a very, very long time, and they rate country on some questions on a scale of 7, on a scale of 10, and all this information basically used to create one score. Now, Economist has more than 60 criterias, right? So it's not that they are saying a country has slipped on democracy scale by 1 or 2 points or 5 or 6 ranks. It's just based on 1 or 2 indicators. So there is a lot of comprehensive methods that get used to do the democracy ranking. Same does not get followed for the Press Freedom Index, for sure, because it's largely based on subjective interpretation of people who are part of this collective Reporters Without Borders. And so I don't know who these people are. Of course, they are journalists, but for a country like India, how many of them are making this assessment, and so on and so forth.
So it's not like things are hunky-dory, but I do feel there is some sort of difference. I don't know about how Mamata Banerjee behaves in West Bengal, and I don't know how the media there is treated. Now, whether these surveys can be subjective, objective, etc. In fact, I don't know what the methodologies are. I am guessing that it must be how many cases are filed, how many journalists assaulted, how many journalists killed.
I think Rahul is making the point, we
the...
don't know. We don't know that, which is what Rahul was saying. It's not transparent.
But I'm sure that at least these things will be taken into consideration, which is journalists assaulted, journalists killed, and number of cases filed against journalists. And if you take that in absolute numbers, obviously there would be quite a bit in India.
Yes.
And when we go to international conventions, we hear stories from all across the world, right? Except a few countries, everybody has the same problems. Like some of them have worse problems than us, but almost it's the same. The government branding them as anti-national. George Soros features in most of the conspiracy theories, and then people having to leave, people being killed. So I don't know whether it is comparable that way. But if you just look at statistics, also we're a large country with so many journalistic organizations, so many different governments, cases filed, journalists assaulted. So I think if you go by numbers, perhaps yes.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense now that you put it that way. Even if you go by per capita, because news is such a big thing here. We have more news channels than all of Europe put together.
A ranking, by very definition, is a tool for comparison. So it is natural to see which countries are below, which are above. So if you find countries like Afghanistan ranked above India, then significant degree of skepticism about the methodology comes. Second is the scale thing that was being discussed earlier, that the sheer scale of India may amplify all the metrics taken for consideration. That could be a factor. But there is also, like Rahul was talking about, objective measure and experts. So experts may have a very more rigorous standard of, or you may in layman's terms say idealistic measure of things. When they compare the democratic parameters in different countries. Also, whether they are taking into account the political culture or other aspects, I don't know. So that is one thing. But
so as soon as it came and we found that Afghanistan is above us, so we put Shiv, our reporter, on the job. So he has come out with whatever little. So apparently they ask about 117 questions, and there are 10 respondents from each country, and a total of 1,800 respondents. Okay, and in these 10 respondents, could be individual journalists, could be media houses, or could be experts. Okay, so we don't know who these 10 people are.
And that's too small a sample
these
size
are
also.
too small a sample size. I mean, these people. So that's what I mean. If this is the methodology, then I think this report is a trash.
I mean, if you choose the 10, let's say you choose Gaurav Sawant, Navika Kumar, what's his Rahul Shiv
Someone
Shankar,
from Prasar Bharati.
Raman, what's his name? The boy Kanwal, Rahul Kanwal. If Anjana Kashyap, then we would be at number one. But if you choose Abhinandan, Sekhri, Dhanya Rajendran and Raman, then we'd be at number. So these 10 can move the list.
These 10 can move the list.
So that's the problem.
So that's the problem with this report.
And I think one point that Dhanya made, which is very important, it's very difficult to tell what is a political proxy, what is a journalist. Like a journalist from stage saying that we will carry your vision forward. Telling Modi, Arnab said. I mean, it is bizarre. Then are you a journalist or are you a proxy? And as soon as you become a political proxy, then you're fair game. You see, I think how we see and this, I think media has itself to blame, because now that the template has been set that these guys are such cowards that you throw some money in their face, you slap them around and they'll do what you say. You watch. You don't have to be an autocratic Modi or an RSS backed. Everyone will do the same, because now they know that these guys are such pathetic fools. They'll all do it. And I mean, save this statement. Even the most, so to speak, kind-hearted party or leader comes, they will do exactly this, because the media has shown that this is how we can be controlled. And there is no incentive for the next regime not to do this.
Therefore, I don't think there's yes, in Tamil Nadu, there is a specific culture of huge cutouts and dances and that kind of festivity. But for example, the JDS leader, Kumaraswamy, he was doing this yatra for almost 4 or 5 months, I think, before the elections were announced. And every place, so every day he would go to a place, and every place he goes to, they'll bring this garland for him. Now, this garland is not brought by human beings, it's brought in a crane. So it can't be put on his neck because he'll collapse. So the crane will just come and the garland will just be in front of him. One day it'll be coconuts, next day it'll be watermelon, then it'll be all sorts of things. So it became fashionable for every ward or every constituency to ensure that a different, garland is made each time Kumaraswamy comes. So they have their own festivities.
And of course, I often say that I don't do crystal ball gazing. I never predict, because I've seen too many predictions go horribly wrong. But
yeah, I also don't predict.
But and I think maybe Rahul can tell us about the analysis, because I think there is one, is it the sea voter poll that came out that gave Congress a comfortable majority. But based on what I was speaking to a journalist this morning at the same conference that Vignesh is here for, that at the BJP office there is a lack of, that they have that jump, they have that kind of cockiness. It's not there.
Definitely not.
Why is that? Do they don't get along with each other? Yedurappa, Bommai and all these guys?
No, that is one thing. See, there is anti-incumbency, and it is quite strong that the BJP knows. So they are on the back foot. And if you look at the election campaign till this whole Bajrang Dal point came up, they were not speaking about Hindutva.
Okay, how important is Bajrang Dal there, by the way?
It's mostly in the coastal districts. In fact, I was listening to this popular Kannada journalist yesterday. He was saying that the Bajrang Dal's cause seems to have been taken up by the BJP, which is itself strange. But whether it will resonate with people and make them vote is different. But the BJP is confusing the message, including the Prime Minister, who's saying that all Hanuman devotees, all Bajrangis are being targeted. So there is a mixed messaging that the BJP is doing deliberately. Now, whether that will confuse people, we don't know.
So in Karnataka, and that's why when you see these opinion polls, most of them are not like they're giving Congress a lead, but no one is saying that Congress is basically sweeping this election or winning this election very comfortably, right? So that's point one. Two, even in Karnataka, and those who are traveling, they would know this much better than I do. Karnataka is regionally very different. For example, the north, Bombay Karnataka region is very different from coastal Karnataka, where you have these issues of communalism, where BJP has a very serious stronghold. Then Hyderabad Karnataka and central Karnataka, the mining region, has a very different voting pattern. And then you have the south and old Mysuru region, where BJP till 2019 was not a significant player. And the contest used to be only between JDS and Congress till 2019. And so electorally, what was happening in Karnataka, even in last election, that BJP gets lesser votes than Congress, but gets more seats, right? And this happens because BJP is not present in one region and converts its seats in a far greater number in Bombay, Karnataka and coastal Karnataka.
Right.
Now that in 2019, JDS and Congress allied together, it gave BJP a chance to move into South Karnataka, Old Mysuru region. And so the critical question in this election is going to be whether BJP, while retaining its presence in other parts, can still get some seats in the Old Mysuru, South Karnataka region. If it can't, then BJP can't reach majority.
All of you listening in, the Chhota Hafta, do subscribe so you can listen to the entire Hafta. We will see you again next week with the Hafta. Till then, subscribe, pay to keep news free, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Thank you. Goodbye.
All the Newslaundry podcasts are available on Stitcher, iTunes, and any other podcast platform.
Please subscribe to Newslaundry. Help us keep news independent. To catch all our podcasts on news, pop culture, current affairs, and sport, visit newslaundry.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. सुन लिया अफ्रीका मुफत खोरों? Not to brag or anything, but Newslaundry Hafta features in the top 50 in the world on SoundCloud in the news and politics category for podcasts. So do subscribe and see what you're missing, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Subscribe, help keep news independent and free. All Newslaundry podcasts are available on iTunes and Stitcher and any other podcast platform.